Well, what then is the difference between a socialized workplace and the capitalist workplace we inherit? Well, I can begin by telling you the funny story, or I hope you find it funny. In many cities in the United States, and I'm sure the same exists elsewhere, there's a remarkable place a lot of workers visit when they're done with their day at the factory or the office or the store in capitalism. They pass by a local drinking establishment, a bar. And in the window of the bar in big letters, they read the following words: Happy Hour. Why would they call it that? Well, my guess is it has a lot to do with underscoring that what you just finished, your work time, were unhappy hours, and here's a chance, with a little alcohol, to offset the unhappiness with some happiness. People in capitalism feel oppressed, exhausted, abused, misunderstood, mistreated, exploited. The language we have for that experience is immense because the experience is virtually universal. The whole idea of worker co-op is to change that, to make the workplace democratic. That's right, to install democracy in the workplace where it has been excluded for the entire history of capitalism. It's as if the idea that being in a place where the decisions that impact you are decisions you have the right to participate in, and that's what democracy means, it is as if that right, that commitment, which applies to where we live, somehow shouldn't apply to where we work. And the whole notion of worker co-ops runs against that. Yes, it should apply. In fact, if you don't have democracy at the workplace, you don't have it where most adults spend most of their lives, and therefore you are not a democratic society unless and until you include the workplace in where democracy ought to be installed. And indeed, it's an old dream of working people, the majority, to have democracy in the workplace. That's why slogans like freedom and democracy and liberty got going, because people wanted something not just outside of the workplace. They wanted liberty and freedom and democracy in it because they spend so much time there. That's partly why they are unhappy and need a happy hour after work. And people have been organizing worker co-ops for centuries. It's all over history if you know to look for it. Today, let me give you an example that many of you have heard of. The Mondragon Corporation in Spain started out over 50 years ago as a little worker co-op of 6 workers put together by a Roman Catholic priest, Father Arizmendi, in the north of Spain. Fast forward to now, Mondragon is a family of about 250 worker co-ops, all run democratically within each co-op. It's the 7th largest corporation in all of Spain. It is a democracy of working people, and it's not the only one, but it's the biggest and most successful that has grown real well over the last 50 years. So modern socialism, the one that emerges from the self-criticism of the 20th century, is a 21st century socialism that puts first and foremost the transformation of the workplace finally to bring democracy to that central part of our modern life.